I think it's super ambitious and I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it's going to be worth it. Hello folks, you can call me Lolly and welcome to part 2 of decluttering during a heat wave. If you missed part 1, I will have it linked in the description box below. In that video, I started off by decluttering a bunch of things I had pulled out of my old bedroom at my parents' house. We have a little conversation about cultural appropriation. And I talk you through a bit of my thought process when I'm trying to avoid waste when decluttering and trying to judge whether I can actually donate something, if I can put it on Buy Nothing, or if I just need to throw it away and let it go. I'm sure you will really hear the fan back there, but it feels good standing in front of it. Okay, it's the next day. I am wearing the exact same thing because I believe in outfit repeating. I went through those bags and things from yesterday. I got things pretty, not final sorted. What I really need to do is have the bag of stuff I can just donate and get that out and then work on the things that are Buy Nothing. Okay, my next thing is I've got this big bin that's full of old t-shirts and stuff from my partner. This is from before we were dating. But most of that's going to be fabric recycling, textile recycling. I have another bag going of that, so I'm going to go through that, see if we can reclaim this bin. And then I'm going to start in on craft supplies. And I'm going to start with all the stuff I have in the bedroom because I actually have a goal. And let me go show you what this actually quite ambitious goal is, but I'm excited for the challenge, so we're going to go with it. Okay, so excuse the messy bedroom. I piled a bunch of stuff on the bed because I actually fucking vacuumed it today. Yay! And then I need to start a load of laundry. So the goal is to actually take the bed and flip it around and put it on this wall because we did this temporarily last summer when it was getting into the hundreds of degrees, so that when we slept, we were actually sleeping in front of the fan. And even though we don't use that very often throughout the whole year, we want to try it. But I've measured how long it is with the vanity, the clothes hamper, and the dresser, and it's 10 inches too long to fit between the bookcase and the door. But I think, if my partner's amenable to it, I think if I declutter and reorganize enough stuff, we can put the hamper in the closet, kind of where this green thing is. And I think in order to do that, I really need to reorganize this stuff down here and this hanging thing. And then I've got some other craft bins. I know I need to go through this bin of beads because this came from my parents, the last declutter. And I really need to go through that and see if I can condense stuff. And I think what might need to happen is actually getting some kind of furniture, maybe those cube shelves or something. Just do something that's more not so piecemeal. And then I think I have fabric in this wire bin, in the striped bin, maybe some in that back kind of woven basket. I think I can go through that, condense things, and then also work with these two baskets here. This white bin is my sewing stuff, and it's actually half or 2/3 empty. I can maybe move that stuff into this beaded basket, and then this is all yarn and crocheting and needlework stuff. Move that in here, and then in my fabric bins I have ribbon, clasps, old belt material, other things. And I think if I move all the other things into yarn and needlework stuff, maybe I can get rid of one of my containers. And that will help with the closet stuff. And maybe do something with clothes, because that's such a dead corner. I'm not really a fan of this wire shelving stuff, but it came with the apartment, so that's what we got to work with. So I got my work cut out for me. Yeah, so that's kind of the goal I'm working towards. I think it's super ambitious and I don't know if it's gonna work, but I think it's going to be worth it, because even if it doesn't really work to try and like get the clothes hamper in the closet, if we just don't have enough room for that, I will have decluttered things and reorganized things, and I will still come out ahead. So I'm going to get started before it gets too warm in this room. First I need to start laundry, and then I will sort these clothes. It's a to-do list. Let's go. I started off by just sorting the shirts into what it was good enough to donate and what was for recycling. I found a couple of shirts with fun graphics on them, and from the time when my partner used to work at a movie theater. About half of the shirts were in good enough condition to donate, so I put them in the washing machine before putting them in the donate pile. Then I brought out all of my fabric, all of my sewing materials, and other textile craft supplies. I spent a lot of time sorting and rearranging the things I had just to see how big of a box I really needed to store everything. And I played around with swapping out containers, using boxes I already had, and making sure that I separated things in a way that made sense to me so that things would be easy to find in the future. Okay, time for an update. I paused and made myself a smoothie for lunch, and let's see, so I went through the clothes in that bin, and all the stuff in these 2 bags is stuff to get away. I washed the other t-shirts that I thought were in good enough condition to donate, and I need to go put those in the dryer. Oops. And then I want to show you, I've pulled out pulled out all my bins with fabric. I'm starting to go through them, and as is pretty much always the case with decluttering and reorganizing, it's gonna look worse before it looks better. This basket now has all of my sewing stuff, and it held everything except like my little box with my hand sewing stuff that I just pull that out if I just need to like reattach a button or redo a hem. And I found another spot for that. So this basket will probably stay like that. And then I've moved my yarn in here and some cross-stitch stuff, and I'm gonna go through this ribbon and straps and things. I'm losing steam a little bit, but I'm trying to like actually go through and take things out and look at them and assess how much I have and how much do I actually feel like I need to keep. And then I'm gonna go through this fabric and, you know, remind myself that I'm not just reorganizing, I'm also trying to get rid of stuff. I did pull out, so this little box is sewing stuff. I'm gonna get rid of these super huge spools of thread that are really for a serger machine. They're just way more than I need, and then some other stuff in there. I got rid of a few things from my straps and ribbons, but like I mentioned, I was losing steam and didn't really have the energy for a ruthless declutter. I did hold myself to using the container method, where I only keep as much of a type of item as will fit in its designated container. Next, I started going through my fabric, and yes, I have a lot of black fabric which I had stored in multiple boxes. And I found leftover fabric from my wedding dress. Thankfully, I had previously measured and labeled my black fabric, and that helped me decide which pieces I felt I could get rid of. I sometimes need black opaque fabric for theater projects, so that's why I have so much of the same stuff. I use cut up squares from old t-shirts to remove my nail polish. These are shirts that were going to be thrown out anyway, so I might as well get one more use out of them instead of buying single-use cotton rounds. I emptied this blue basket from our closet by putting our extra sheet set in our ottoman. We almost never use it, and I actually ended up getting rid of one pillowcase. Let's take a moment to enjoy the growing collection of empty containers. light is super weird because I'm trying to get more light into the closet. Switching out cameras a little bit because need to charge the other one. I'm kind of at the point where I've got some empty stuff from in here, and I'm gonna just start like taking stuff out and reorganizing it. I'm gonna try and like chuck all of my shoes into like one of the empty containers I have and just start playing around with reorganizing it and seeing what, I don't know, what direction I want to go in. First things first, take everything out, or at least try to get everything up off the floor. I pretty quickly decided that I really wanted to get the hanging shoe organizer out, and I wanted to see if I could make things work without it. I also made a point to vacuum while the closet was mostly empty, because the corners of that closet probably have not seen a vacuum since we moved in about 5 years ago. And the moment of truth, does the clothes hamper fit? Yeah, technically. I ended up consolidating all of my fabric into the one large blue bin, and I even had some room to add blue fabric from my wedding, and then I moved the comforter that we're keeping into this striped box. Now that I've put the laundry hamper in there, I can probably bring the camera closer again, but not so close for you to see how much I'm sweating. Okay, let me show you what disaster I've concocted. So I removed this cart that I think I'm just gonna stick over here for now, and then that's like that cloth shelving unit and an empty box. So I got the laundry hamper in here. Clothes are almost the same except these scooted over a little bit. Those are like sweaters and stuff I don't really wear. There's one in there that I might wear, not right now because it's fucking hot, but maybe I can hang it up. This part's not ideal because there's still like a basket and stuff down there, and some of my longer dresses are getting smooshed. But it's not any worse than it was before. I have like my bin of workout stuff. My sewing machine fits perfectly on this little plastic rack, and I reorganized all my fabric into one big bin. Put the light comforter in there, and it's a pain to get the suitcase. I have to like scoop the suitcase under like this part, but it fits. Heated blanket, other comforter, fabric, shoes, not ideal, but I've had my shoes stored like that before and it wasn't a big deal. I don't have so many that like I forget what I have. And then this was all just dead space, so I had backpacks on the shelves up here and I just brought them down. It's just like a proof of concept to maybe, I don't know, buy some kind of like deep shelving unit or something. I don't know what to do with the suitcase. I don't know. I'll have to brainstorm with my partner, but getting some kind of like shelving system to make better use of this vertical space. Anyway, this is probably about as much damage as I want to do before my partner gets home. I need to remember that there's another 3 bins that were in that back corner that still need to go in here. But I think if I incorporate those beads in there, I think my partner just came home, those will fit on that top shelf. Good morning. So partner came home yesterday and he did veto the, I don't know why the light's flickering, that's weird. Oh, is it the LEDs? Maybe. There's LEDs in my little vanity thing. So, this, if that bothers you, this is a listening portion of the video, not a visual portion. That's fine. So yeah, my partner immediately vetoed the clothes hamper in the closet because when the bags are full, they're going to be too hard for him to take out with that shelf there. But we were looking at the empty space and reorganizing things, and today we're going to IKEA. And we're gonna get some sort of grown-up storage. I mean, is IKEA really grown-up storage? I don't know. Can I do this and talk at the same time? Let's find out. Yeah, we're gonna get some of those 4x4 or like those square shelves. We're gonna get one that is a 2x2, so a square, and that's gonna go in the middle under the shelves. And then I'm gonna get a 1x4 tall one that's gonna go closest to the door. They've got all kinds of inserts for those things, so I don't know if we'll get like some little drawer units or some matching sized baskets or something, just to make it all look more uniform, and then also be able to store things on individual shelves instead of stacked on each other. So if I need something on the bottom, I always have to move something else to get to it. So trying to get away from that. And I think with that I'll have some better shoe storage. Yeah, and be able to store like my fabric and the extra comforters. He did say, yeah, let's get rid of that dark blue comforter. We were keeping it because it matches some of the dark, it matches the sheets that we have on the bed. But you know what? We don't need it. We don't need it. Yeah, so that's the day, and now I'm just continuing on with the makeup. I just went in with like a pinky neutral brown and then more of a actual pink on top. See, this is JD Glow Peachy Keen. I don't know if the camera will really pick this up. A little bit. It's like a pink green, very sheer duochrome. Yeah, so I'll just, I will insert a little bit of footage of what it kind of looks like on my hand. And it's pretty sheer, but it's just so light and ethereal and lovely. And the JD Glow shimmers are so nice. Definitely one of my, yeah, you definitely see like that green shift in there. And the mascara I'm using is the Aaron's Faces Matcha Mascara, which was like my favorite mascara before I went on the whole journey to try to find waterproof mascara. Did not find any I liked, so I just wore fake lashes during my wedding with no mascara. And this one, I don't know if there's something off about this formula or something. It feels like a little clumpier, a little drier. And I find that it's like smudging under my eyes a lot. So today I'm just going to try not putting any on my lower lashes. Okay. That's the look from a terrible angle. So yeah, so we got the 4x4 shelf. So I got my shoes and the comforter we're keeping. This is empty, and I'm gonna see if maybe my partner's camera bag fits in here. And we got more hangers, so I'm gonna go through and try and remove some of the plastic hangers and maybe reorganize this a little bit. And then over here, we got the tall one, and all of the fabric bins are all empty, so I need to figure out what's gonna work in there. You can't see it with the skirts or with my dresses, but I still have like my box of workout stuff that I'd love to get out of there, just so my long hanging stuff isn't crowded. This corner looks okay. My sewing machine fits perfectly onto this wire rack, and the bin of fabric fits under there, so that might stay. I'm gonna do something else with the baskets and play around with what all is up here. And I still have my bins of craft supplies that will probably go back up there. I'm gonna end this video here. Things are looking and feeling much better, at least in the closet. Stay tuned for the final part, part 3, and I will catch you folks in my next video. Bye!